this is section 3.5, and this is the first video here in 3.5. And what we're going to be doing here in this section is we're going to be using parallel lines to prove theorems about triangles, and then we're also going to be able to find measures of angles of triangles. In this one, first thing we're going to talk about here is the parallel postulate. So again, if you follow along in your notes, reminder, you can rewind and pause if you need to at any time. The parallel postulate, postulate 3.3, says that through a point not on a line, there's one and only one line parallel to a given line. So here you have line L. Okay, you have line L. And what they're saying is if you put a point out here, it doesn't matter where it's at, there will only be one line through that point that's parallel to the original line. So for example, as I've done this here, and you might want to do this in your notes too, let's say I put a point right here. Okay, well, there is only one line that will go through that point that I've drawn that is parallel to the line L. Okay, there's only one line that will go. If I were to draw another line through that point like this, that line's not parallel to the line L. Okay, there's only one way to draw a line parallel to line L. Okay, so with that being said, let's take a look here at the next theorem, and the Triangle Angle Sum Theorem. The Triangle Angle Sum Theorem states that the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So in the video that's next on this page, you'll watch, and I'll show you exactly how they come up with the fact that the three angles of a triangle add up to be 180 degrees. But in this case right here, angle A and angle B and angle C, if I add those three angles together, then we end up with 180 degrees every time in a triangle. Doesn't matter. All three of those angles will add up to be 180 degrees. Okay. So with that being said here, okay, as we look at these, what we're going to do is we're going to look at examples of triangles and finding angle measures using the Triangle Angle Sum Theorem. All right, so let's look at the next page here, and let's look at this example. Using the Triangle Angle Sum Theorem, it says here, what are the values of x, y, and z in the diagram? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of zoom in far enough so that you can see that I'm only going to deal with the triangle on the left. So if you look at the triangle on the left, what you want to do is you're looking at these problems is you want to find the triangle with two of the three angles in it. Because if you can find the triangle with two of the three angle measures, you can figure out the third angle. Because remember, the three angles add up to be 180 degrees. So I know that I can say, in this case, that because on this left triangle, triangle ABD, I have x, and if I add that to 43, and I add 59 to that those three angles have to be 180. Okay, because they're the three angles that are inside that triangle. So in this case, when I add these guys together, this is x plus 102 equals 180 degrees. Okay, and then if I subtract 102 from 180, x is going to equal, if I subtract 102, x is going to equal 78 degrees. Okay, so I know that this angle right here, is 78 degrees. Okay, angle x. Now, this kind of goes back here. If you know that this angle is 78, you should be able to figure out this one because these two form a straight line. So x and y essentially are a linear pair. So when I figure out how much y is, I'm going to take 180 minus 78. And that's going to mean that y is 102 degrees. So right now I know x is 78. And I know y is 102 degrees. Okay. Now, if you look at this right side triangle, triangle BDC here, I know that angle's 49. I know that angle's 102. I should now be able to find z. So on z, I'm going to take z plus 102 plus 49 and set that equal to 180 because those are the three angles of the triangle. So z plus 151 equals 180. And in order to solve for z, I subtract 151, and that means that z is going to be 29 degrees. Okay, so you're using a combination on these types of problems of triangle angle sum theorem, and you're also using linear pairs as well. Okay, linear pairs as well. All right, so one other quick example here that they don't have in your notes, so you might want to jot this one down as we look at this. I'm just going to draw a real quick triangle here, and I'm going to tell you that, let's see here, this angle right here is 88 degrees. This angle is, we'll call this 22 degrees. And you have to figure out how much the single angle left is. Well, again, you know that the three angles add up to be 180, so you can take x plus 22 plus 88, and that's going to equal 180 degrees. So in this case, x plus 22 and 88 is 110. And if you subtract 110, x is going to be 70. So in this case, that is 70 degrees. And again, when you plug that 70 in, you can always add up the 3, and they better be equal to 180. Okay, you should be able to complete the class kick examples below now for 3.5, day 1.